Welcome back, guys. This is Mycrodex. So recently I fruited the Rhodotus palmatus. That's the really pretty pink fungi that we've been showing off a lot recently, and I went and took a spore print and wanted to share that with you guys today. So what we're looking at today is just a spore print from two of the best caps that I picked out of the bunch. And you can see I'm not going to be too sterile with this because the fungi themselves were not grown in a sterile environment, so I'm not expecting the spore collection to be either. So I'm like loosely handling this, and it's really just to I really want to prioritize collecting spores of the species rather than the mycelium, because the spores will last a lot longer. And they can always be regrown and dried, and it's a better way of keeping them. And you can see that spore print there is like pretty good. It came out really good. And what I'm going to do now with that piece of foil, now that the spores have been ejected out of the cap, I'm just going to fold this up and then I'm going to tuck this away for later use when I want to regrow the species, or maybe I run across another wild one or something, and then I can breed this one that I got from Mushroom Shop LLC, and I can breed it with the one that I find. So if I ever find another one, in Pokemon you have to have a male and a female, but these fungi work asexually, so they produce the spores, and the spores do have like a yin and a yang. Like they won't just reproduce with any spore, but they produce both of them. So as long as you get like a good amount of spores, and like on that plate alone there's millions of spores. If you can see it, there's like millions. We can use that in the future to make a new family line. And here's a close-up of the Rhodotus palmatus there. I cut the stem off the cap and just laid it in some foil, and I put a cup over it just to maintain humidity so it doesn't like dry out while it's trying to spore. And it'll just dump its entire spore load like right onto the aluminum foil, and then I just fold it up like you saw before. And so I was really like surprised because it was sitting in that like high CO2 environment and it wasn't getting a lot of airflow and it was humid. The veins on the cap started popping and it looked so crazy. Like this reminds me of a Spider-Man logo, or like if you look at especially like the symbiote suit with the tendrils, it looks so much like that. Like you could definitely see the resemblance there. It's super cool to see that. And this spore print came out a lot cleaner. You can see the individual gills where it fell from. That one's really good. There was a little fold in it, but I'm not really doing it for the to make it perfect. I just want to collect the spores so that I can regrow it later and not have to worry about like my cultures freezing, because I recently had some syringes of mycelium freeze, and good thing I didn't need those. But I mean, that's not the first time that happened, so I'm really trying to just get my cultures just off of like refrigeration. Okay, and so we're gonna look even deeper at the morphology of this fungi because it's so unique. And I have to note, guys, in case you didn't know, this is the only fungi of this species like in its family. Like scientists couldn't, they pretty much gave this fungi a like its own family because it's so unique. And with that, it's listed as inedible, but I recently did a video where I ate one, and it's inedible but not poisonous. So I'm not really sure. It's weird to call something inedible when it's not poisonous. Like I think they kind of deem it as like, oh, like it didn't taste good, but it doesn't taste bad. It doesn't taste bad, and it's a unique, very unique mushroom that needed its own family. So, naturally my mind goes to like, what are the possible like medicinal benefits? Because with this thing being so unique, it is producing unique compounds. I'm not making any claims or anything. I'm just speaking aloud and sharing my thought process on like, where am I getting these ideas. It's like, it just makes sense. If we can consume it and it's unique, then you know uh, I'm kind of talking over myself here, but I was just freaking out over how cool it looks. It's like, I really hadn't I just let them grow, and I try not to mess with them too much so their morphology isn't weird. And I haven't really taken the time to look at it until here. I'm gonna try to dry this and keep it in this state, but have it dried. I have a dehydrator right behind me, so I'm gonna put it in there right now and hope for the best. It's on the lowest heat, so it should work as long as it doesn't shrink up too much. Oh, I actually have some in there already that are drying. Let me see if they're dry yet. Oh, these look kind of cool. These are dried Rhodotus palmatus. They look like strawberries. Wanna get a close up? That looks cool. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, the gills on this one look cool. Take a picture of that. Skin on that one. Doesn't look like it holds up too well. But cool. How long has this video been going? 8 minutes? I think that's a cool video. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. This was my first time seeing this, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. Boom. Video done. Subscribe and like if you like fungi content. It's super cool.